Took a while, but I finally finished watching Fire Force Season 2, and that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to be giving you a heads up, though. Spoiler warning for this video. If you have not seen Fire Force Seasons 1 or 2, click off the video now. We're going to continue talking about it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, before we get into Fire Force, I do want to say hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's talk about Fire Force. So, the thing is, I have a little bit of a weird relationship with Fire Force. If you happen to watch, and I don't know why you would be watching this video if you haven't watched my first one, then again, unless it just randomly popped up and you recommended and you like Fire Force, I have a little bit of a weird relationship with Fire Force because it's certainly not my favorite show that I've ever watched, but it's intriguing, it's interesting, I think it's good. I think Fire Force is good, and I don't think that it's great. That was my whole idea with Season 1 when I first started talking about it, and there's a couple specific things that I want to touch on, but with this season, okay, I absolutely loved the beginning of it. But then once we got into the later half of the season, I was kind of back where I was with my original Season 1 review. Because when Season 2 first started, the first little bit, I would say, like, let's go with the first half about. That whole story with them trying to find the new recruits for the Pillars and what side those people were going to go on. And that along with Shinra going to that hell-like place, that weird dimension, and having to deal with that girl whispering in his ear. I thought that made for an absolutely fantastic storyline. I was intrigued, and I was like, oh my god, Fire Force Season 2 is so good. But then they kind of abandon that a little bit and continue it on with just like kind of what they did in the first season, where it was like, okay, here's a mission. We got to do the mission. We'll have a really cool fight scene. And the fight scenes were great. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on it, okay? When I say this, I'm not hating on it at all. I think it's good. Just good. Not great. Not bad. I was entertained. But at the end of the season, it doesn't have me going, I can't wait for Season 3. You know what I mean? When Season 3 comes, I'll absolutely watch it because I like Fire Force and I think it's good. Like I said, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying in this sense, okay? So, I want to talk about that first. The storyline with that hell lady, or the lady whispering in his ear, I don't recall if we actually did find out who that was. I thought that story was fantastic. At the beginning, it was like really cool because it was corrupting Shinra, and then she was whispering in his ear, and it was really weird. Plus, I'm a big fan of like just the way people portray art, and I thought this whole season did fantastic. And something that I talked about in my last video, I was really, really fascinated by that hell dimension where it was all gray, and then there was just the characters that were colorful, and then you could have those Adola links, you could see stuff there, and Shinra was kind of like the only one bringing bot down to hell. I think that was awesome. I think that's really cool, and I just really like design there. So to add a storyline along with a design that I'm intrigued in makes for something that I would be really interested in. So Shinra was acting really different, which I really liked, and then he got over it pretty quick, but he still was kind of listening to that girl in his ear, and she kept like interfering with his thoughts no matter where he went. I wish they continued that storyline, and I hope they do continue that storyline in Season 3. And another part of the story that I did really like is I liked, and I apologize, the name's escaping me at the moment. It's hard to remember these anime character names for me personally, but that girl with the pink hair, the one that was crazy and likes pain and excitement, that girl, I loved her story. I thought it was fantastic. Like, I was intrigued no matter what she did, and I was intrigued on, like, what side she wanted to pick and how she's just ridiculous and her power is cool where she can see where the fighter's about to start. I loved her storyline. I loved the whole storyline with Shinra and that devil lady and getting stuck in hell and having those Adola links. Once we got to the later half of the season, it was more, and don't get me wrong, like, the story did progress, but it wasn't enough to make me just, like, oh, I was really looking forward to hearing what's going on with this lady down in hell, you know what I mean? But I guess I'll have to wait for it, and I'll have to be patient for it. Again, not hating. Another thing that I do want to mention is that in my first season review, I was talking about how I had a big problem with the, like, the girls just randomly getting naked. And then I was like, oh my god, listen to myself. I can't believe I'm complaining about seeing some boobs, you know what I mean? But I was, because it was taking me out of the scenes, especially when it happens somewhere intense. I still don't like when it happens in like a really intense scene. It really takes away from it for me. But a friend of mine who did watch Fire Force pointed out to me that it's meant to be taken as a joke, like, or it's just so over the top and ridiculous. And I kind of changed my mindset on that, because originally I was looking at this where it's like, oh my god, do you really have to like do this to like please like the people who just can't keep their hands off their peepees? You know what I mean? I thought that's what it was for, and it still could be. But what he was telling me was it's supposed to be over the top and ridiculous, and that's just the humor that Fire Force has. And then I was thinking about like some other ridiculous stuff that they do, and with the character who always thinks that he's a knight. Sometimes they go into like that insanely ridiculous things, and I guess that's the show, and I can't really hate on it for it. And I will say, once I changed my mindset on that a little bit, I found myself laughing where it's like, oh my god, your entire outfit literally just came off. I found that more funny this time because I understood that it was humorous. I thought it was weird at first because I thought it was, like I said, just for the people who can't keep their attention off of, like, they constantly have their hands grass bound downstairs. You know what I mean? I thought that's what it was satisfying. While it could still be the case, I've changed my mind on that just a little bit. I still don't like when it happens, though, specifically during a really, really intense scene that's, like, really progressing the story. If it's just a random fight, so be it. Whatever. That's okay. All in all, though, I don't really have anything to say, like, diving in specifically to each episode of Fire Force. I like Season 1. Season 2 was much better, in my opinion. I thought it was great. It's just, at the end of it, like I said, I ended up just taking away with it, like, it was good. Not nearly the best show I've seen. But I will be definitely watching Season 3 whenever it comes out. I don't even know how long it is before it comes out. I don't know when the show actually aired, but obviously the show's not over. And by the way, the final episode didn't really give me anything to look forward to with the Season 3 coming. That's another thing that I hate. Well, I guess I don't really hate it because I hate it when shows do that. And I'm like, oh my god, I need to see what happens next. They kind of concluded their little season with a story, and we know that there's a battle that's coming. So I guess it's good that they did conclude their story, but there's nothing that episode ended where it was like, okay, I need to see what happens next when Season 3 coming out. I don't need, like, for example, I don't know when it's coming out. But to sum it up, I thought Fire Force was good. I thought Season 2 was infinitely better than Season 1, and hopefully Season 3 continues that trend. Let me know what you guys think. I'll leave it up to you from here. What do you think about Fire Force Season 2? Do you agree with me on my points? Let me know what you think down below, and thank you so much for watching, everybody. On the screen right now, you will see two fantastic Clenema channel videos that I just messed up saying my outro, but it'll give you a little bit more opportunity to stare at the thumbnails and maybe click on them if you'd like to see me review something else. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care.